And in the 60s, John Covert Watson's family would go out to Hamilton Pool as a Sunday picnic site. They would spend all day getting there and back and spend some time there. And he began hearing about this alleged West Cave on the other side of the Pedernales River. And he, like many before and after him, trespassed up the creek, up Hines Branch Creek, into the cave. His first trip, he recalls going up into the creek and having a group of visitors running out of the area and warning them, don't go in there, it's full of snakes. But he went anyway, and he did find it to be full of snakes, and it's still full of snakes. That's part of the charm of our cave. In the 60s in particular, it was kind of like Hippie Hollow West. It was really heavily trespassed by hippies who would go there. There are all of these pools built into the limestone and the rock around the cave that are filled with cool water, spring water. And folks would go back in there and put their beer in the cold water to keep cool and swim and dive off of the rocks into the pool there. And it was very damaged. They broke off the stalactites and the stalagmites and took those with them, left some of them there. They left their trash there. And in the mid-70s, John Watson was driving by and he saw a for sale sign out in front of West Cave, and he couldn't believe it. And he had recently inherited a little bit of money from an aunt who lived in Colorado and was a big outdoors person. He thought, what better use of my aunt's gift to me than to buy this property, and he bought West Cave. West Cave is kind of a story of how a place heals when you just leave it alone. It was very little manipulation to the canyon other than pulling out the invasive plants, the non-native plants, and bringing in some of the plant material that should be in there. And then about 10 years into the project, I think John got bored and he went around to some of the nearby schools in Round Mountain and Johnson City and Dripping Springs and encouraged teachers to bring their kids out to see the place. And there was no sort of formal curriculum. It was just kind of come and see what nature looks like when it's wild and cared for, and how it heals itself. And so that was really the nature of the programming there for the next 15 years was just coming out and going for a walk with John Arns down the canyon into the grotto. But when we built the Environmental Learning Center, and probably years leading up to that, a group of teachers and educators got more involved in developing a formal curriculum that helped tell the story of geology and hydrology. That's the story of the hill country, and that's certainly the story of West Cave.